What is up, everybody? So in today's video and the video after this, I'm going to be showing you guys a deconstructed type of videos of how to do an eye look like this. We have our cut crease, we have a winged liner, and then we also have our lashes. So it's going to be a two-part video series. In the first part, I am going to be showing you guys how to do a cut crease, which is this video. And then in my following video, we're going to follow up and we're going to finish off with our liner and then our lashes. So if you want to find out and learn some new steps, definitely keep on watching. For this video's question for the comments, what is your favorite quarantine snack? Since we are in quarantine right now, if you're watching this in the future, how does it feel to be out and about? How does it feel to not be stuck in your house? That can be another question. But this video's question, favorite quarantine snack. So let's just jump right in. So we're gonna get into this whole cut crease moment. And the first step in all your cut creases is to identify where you want your crease to go. So if you're not blessed with God-shaped eyelid space and you're more like me with a hooded eye, the way that I like to choose where my cut crease is, obviously I need to be able to see it when my eye's open. So by identifying with your eye open, where you want to have it, and then I also go by when I look down into a mirror, I can see like my eye socket right about here. So when I cut my crease, I basically follow my eye socket because I can see when I have my eyes open, my whole lid when I cut it, and that's also where I put shadows because the whole point of having a cut crease is to cut the shadow to have like dimension into your crease and then making the illusion of having a huge lid space. So now the next step is getting a primer for your eyes. I would say you would need a primer whenever you do an eye look. You can use concealer, but sometimes an eye primer is just unmatched. So I like to use the Anastasia eye primers more for actually cutting the crease or for Instagram looks because it will crease on me throughout the day. If I do want an eye base because I don't want my shadows to fade or move throughout the day, I use the MAC paint pots. This is going to give a tacky base. It's also going to be a little bit colored, so it's going to have more of a stick to your shadows than just a translucent primer. So I'm going to prime my eyes. I'm also going to carve out my brows with this Anastasia primer on the back of my hand, and then we can get into the look. So with my eyes prepped, I'm taking this Kim Kardashian palette. This is the Classic Blossoms palette. I'm going to take this shade right here. I'm going to start off with that. I'm going to take this fluffy brush from Morphe. There's no name on it. It came in like an eye brush set, so you can just take whatever fluffy brush you want. I'm going to dip into that shade, and then where I like to place the shadow, I'm going to place it where I would usually do my transition color. So that's going to be a little bit higher up in your eyelid area, closest to your brows, but it's not going to be the last shade before your brows end. And then after I have like most of the color placement, I'm not going to blend too much because I'm going to come in with this pink shade, same brush, and then I'm going to blend it out into the brows. Your eye should look like something like this for now. And then I am going to be using basically the same brushes for most of my steps. So I use this little color switch. This is from TJ Maxx. It's like $2. You just wipe off all the excess powder. It's not gonna definitely like deep clean your brush. It's just like a little in between step so that you don't transfer the color you just put on to the color that you're gonna put on. But definitely wash your brushes. Next, I'm going to take this really tiny, like pointed smudge brush. Now I'm going to take this little pointed brush. This is going to be to really get into my detailed crease. I'm going to take this shade. Now this is where it's going to get more precise because these are the colors that you definitely want to have and add dimension to your look when you cut your crease. So when I do this, I'm going to again follow that eye socket that I looked at when I first analyzed my eyes before doing this cut crease. A good thing to do is to keep your eyes open when you do this step and then drag your shadow. You don't want to drag it too far up or it's going to just mess up all the work that you just laid down. You want to be able to have like a nice in-between from how much shadow you can see from your brow bone to the new shade that you're putting on. You can also do this step after you place it onto your eye, just to make sure, just like this, because this way you can also see your eye socket a little better. And then you just follow it along, and then you just keep on blending. So if you feel like you lost all of that transition color shades that you put down before this shade that you just did, you can always go back in and blend a little bit out. This is also going to help make your look a little bit more airbrushed and seamless rather than just random colors layered on top of each other. So this is going to reinforce the first color and also blend them together. Now I'm just going to take the same brush. I'm not going to clean it off because I'm going to go in with a little bit darker shade. It doesn't really matter. I'm going to take this brush again and then really deepen up this crease area. So you can almost think of this last shade as like your guideline to where you're going to cut your crease. Now you want this line to show, so you want to make it a little bit thicker and then a little bit higher up to where you're actually going to cut your crease, because then it's going to show, it's going to give dimension, and it's going to be fierce. So you're probably wondering what's going to go in this outer corner. You don't have to worry about that yet. We're going to do that after we cut the crease, and we're just going to blend all of our shadows together. Now for your crease, I would recommend using a more liquid like type of concealer or eye primer to do this part, which I'm going to use again the Anastasia primer. The reason why you want a more liquidy base is because it's gonna help glide a little more on your eyelids. I used to use a MAC paint pot, but that's a little bit more difficult, so using like a liquid is gonna help. So I'm just taking this little Wet n Wild brush. It's their concealer brush with a little bit of that eye primer on it. So some people do the trick where they place the concealer or whatever they're using right about here, and then they look up. And then usually if you don't have eyelids like me, it will show you where you can like place your crease or your lid space, but because mine does not show, because it only goes to like right about there, I just go a little bit higher up. And I start with a dot like that. So now I can definitely see that shimmer is going to be able to be shown right there. And after I place a dot right above my pupil, I like the shape of going from your inner corner up. You can go from like right here on the lid up. You can do whatever you want with your cut crease shape, but I like going all the way from the inner corner into that connecting line. So I'm starting by stamping on the color in my inner corner, and then some people like to drag and connect the lines. I like to stamp. It's a little bit easier for me because then I don't mess up and I can fix things so much more easier. So now I can see what I have, and then I look forward into a mirror, and then if I don't like it, I just add a little by little, just so that I can get the lid space that I want. And then to go past that line from the indicator that we just made from the first mark, I like to bring it a little bit farther past my pupil, and then round it a little bit down. And I just fill in the rest of that blank space again with my shadow primer to prepare my lid for the shimmer that I'm going to apply. And then now that I'm happy with this shape, I'm taking this brush. I'm going to take this bottom shimmer shade, and then I'm going to place that from my inner corner onto my lid. Now, like I said before, to blend this lid into the outer corner, I'm going to take this like darker shimmer shade, and then I'm going to blend it a little bit from that light shimmer shade for the lid into the outer corner, but we're not going to go all the way. This is just to prepare it to blend into the matte shadows that I am going to place down. So that's what I do. I like pack the lid and then I blend back and forth. And then I take that smaller brush that I did for the like crease area, and then I'm going to blend in circular motions with that darkest shade that we did take. And this is going to blend your lid colors into the rest of the eye look in the outer corner. Now you are done with your entire eye look. You can finish up with your liner, lashes, whatever you want to do. and then you can call it. For this eye look, I am going to post my liner and lash tutorial in a separate video. Hopefully this video helps you achieving your cut crease dreams and goals. Remember, you can always play around with cut crease shapes. You can go from here and then go all the way out. That's a cut crease. You can do like this, stop there. You can also do like from your actual lid type of cut crease. You can do whatever you want. Always practice your cut creases. They can always improve. If you don't like it the first time, don't get upset, don't give up. Keep on trying because you can do it. I believe in every single one of you who are watching this video to learn and improve your cut creases. Keep on keeping on, because cut creases are now my favorite looks to do because it gives me more room to play since I don't have eyelid space. So don't forget to follow me on all my social medias, linked down below. Comment down below the question of the video. If you don't remember, you can always look at the intro, and then I will see you in my next video. So as always, love you the mostest.